Hey everybody, it's Dawn. Welcome back to Big City Knitting. It's been a while and I've got a lot to talk about, so let's get started. So like I said, it's been a while. I haven't recorded in a while because I've been incredibly busy, incredibly burnt out, yeah, that pretty much sums it up. So last time I saw you guys or spoke with you guys, I was talking about the cardigan that I made, my yellow cardigan, or maybe I was about to make it. But as you could tell, probably from the title of the video, I've got several finished objects to share with you. Since my last video, I've completed 3 or 4 projects, I think, which is a lot when I think about it. So I figured I would just take some time today while I've got some free time and share them with you. We are back in my living room today because my bedroom is, it's a mess because I'm packing for vacation for later this week. So we're back here. I don't know if you remember in the early days, I used to film here and then I moved to my bedroom and now we're back out here. So it's great. So let's just get started. I'm just gonna jump right into it. So first and foremost, what you're probably expecting the most and what I'm gonna talk about first is my Hackett jacket. Here she is. She's finished, she's blocked. I have not actually woven in any of the ends, as you can see. Literally none of them have been woven in. I have not worn it out yet since finishing it. And I've got some mixed feelings about it. So first and foremost, I'll say this. The pattern that I used, it's a great pattern. If you're familiar, if you saw my last video, you know that the pattern called the Hackett jacket has, I want to say like 12 to 15 different hacks you can use to get different style of jackets using the same base pattern. I used hack 11 with the straight edge neckline, I guess. And here she is. I used the Drops Merino Extra Fine, and I held it together with the Drops Kid Silk Mohair. Drops is a pretty, it's a really safe company. I've used a lot of different yarns from their company, and I don't think they've ever disappointed me. I am a little bit sad though. I hadn't used their Extra Fine Merino before. And I don't know, whenever I got it in the mail, when I had ordered it, I ordered a lot of it because one, I was thinking I was gonna make a different pattern, and obviously I didn't. And the yarn itself, it was thicker than I was expecting, because if you're familiar with the Knitting for Olive Merino, it's a very thin stranded yarn, and the merino is, and this one being the Extra Fine Merino, you would think it would be roughly the same, but I don't know if you could tell, I'll get it right here, it's pretty thick. Like here it is compared to like my hand, it's thick. So I have about 4 balls of the Merino Extra Fine and 3 complete balls of the Kids Silk Mohair left in the vanilla colorway. I think it's light yellow and vanilla that I used. So I've got so much of the yarn left over that I don't really know what I'm gonna do with yet. So there's that. But it's fine, you know, I'll use it up eventually. I have such a bad habit of buying what I think is enough yarn and then end up having a lot left over after my project. But anyway, moving on to the fit. I was expecting this to be a little bit of a looser fit, but as you can see, whenever I try it on, it's not awful. It's not horrible. It's just it's snug on my arms. As you can see, it's pretty cropped. And it doesn't quite like close all the way, which is fine. Whenever I picked this pattern, I was envisioning like more of like an open jacket, shawl type deal. Here it is tied. So it's not bad. She's cute. Let me tie it a little bit tighter. But yeah, I mean, it's cute. It's fine. The sleeves I think are a good length. The material is a little bit scratchy, which is a little strange because normally I think the Drops Kids Silk Mohair is less scratchy than the Knitting for Olive silk mohair. So I thought it was a little odd how scratchy it is. And then as you can see, like along here, it kind of scrunches up, and that is because of the I-cord edge. The only times I've ever done an I-cord edge was for like to finish off like sleeve cuffs or like bottom like all around edge. And I gotta take this off. And those turned out fine. Like the sleeve edges turned out really nice, very neat. It was fine. I had issues with picking up for the I-cord edge on the sides here. So I don't know if you've had similar problems or issues in the past, but as you can see, my pickup edge was not very neat. And it just wasn't very, because like this is the outside, obviously this is the right side. So you can see every single stitch where I picked up, and you can see it kind of like lifted. And then on the other side, the wrong side, it looks a little bit better, but it's still not great. And then as you can see, this bottom corner is just very like curved and messy, and just, I'll give you a closer look. It's just not great. So I'm a little disappointed in that. I think it looks just messy and not my best work at all by any means. I think I could have done a better job like last year as more of a beginner knitter. So I don't know, I'm just a little bit disappointed in myself for this project. Just overall, how I worked it up, how I like the yarn that I chose, the gauge. I mean, it's not, the pattern is fine. I think the only thing that really messed me up and disappointed me was the I-cord edge. I think that's really just my only issue. I think if I really wanted to later on down the road, I could very easily take off the I-cord edge and redo it. I think that's very plausible and very achievable. It's just not really on my list of priorities right now. So yeah. And also, I'm so mad. I don't know if you noticed this whenever I was showing you, up close, but if you can see, you see all of these little gray dots like on the edge, and I think there's one or two down here, on here. Anybody want to take a guess as to what's that from? What it's from? My pins from whenever I blocked it. I have a pack of like the foam like puzzle piece mats and metal pins, and I have never had this issue before with any of my other knits, I swear, but I had to let this dry for what felt like a long time. It felt like it was drying for like a week. It was sitting on my kitchen table, pin drying, you know, and my pins rusted and stained the yarn. I don't know. They have never rusted before. I mean, they're clean. They're fairly new. But yeah, they rusted and stained the fabric. I mean, look at that. And it's not like the I-cord could have covered that up. I mean, gosh, look at that. It's so like, I don't know. I just wasn't very happy with it at all. So I haven't tried to wash it again after blocking. I'm hoping that whenever I do, the stains will come out. I really, really hope that, but I haven't washed it yet in fear that it won't do anything. So I don't know. All in all, I'm just kind of disappointed. I feel like I could have done something a lot better with my time. And I just feel like I wasted a lot of time, energy, material, money, like, I don't know. But like I said, I'm sure at some point later on down the road, I can redo the I-cord edge. I can wash it, try to get the stains out. Maybe it'll be fine for like next spring or something. I don't know, but as of right now, I don't want to mess with it. I don't want to touch it. That's part of the reason why I still haven't woven in the ends of it yet, because I'm just so like sick of this. I'm just not proud of it really. And I should have realized that whenever I was trying so hard to come up with a pattern, because I just wasn't satisfied with anything. I was looking at all of these different patterns. It should have given me a hint, like, put it down, move on, don't do it. But here we are. So it took me about, I want to say 2 to 3 weeks to knit it, but I don't know off the top of my head. But anyway, it's done and we moved on. So, but yeah. I don't want to be saying all this to like deter anybody else from making the pattern, because while I struggled with it myself, it is a very good pattern with a lot of really good tips and hacks and different styles that you can try, and it's a really good pattern. The creator did a really good job on it. I just executed it kind of poorly. But anyway, moving on. So next up, this was kind of a fun, kind of scrappy project. It's not an article of clothing, surprisingly. It's actually a bag, and it's still technically unfinished, but it's about as finished as I want it to be, and as finished as it can be right now. But it is the tulip bag. As you can see, it is huge. Okay. So I made this pattern. I saw this pattern on Etsy a long time ago. I think even before I got started into knitting. And it's just been sitting in my saved little favorites category for literally like years now, probably. And I finally got around to making it. And I'm really happy that I did. I've got a couple notes on it. So originally I wanted to save this pattern for a vacation that I'm actually leaving for next week, or this week, gosh, this week. But after the Hackett Jacket fiasco, I just wanted something fun and easy and cute and quick, because I was actually still waiting on another yarn order to be delivered. So yeah, I knit this held double with a lot of my scrap yarn. And I mean, I barely made a dent in any of it. And I mean, I used quite a good bit of yarn. But I also have a very large stash of scrap yarn, so I don't know how much that's saying for me on my behalf. I used some wool, I used some Drops Flora. I think some of the white is some cotton that I had. I don't know, don't quote me on it. But this is one of my, my first like mega, multicolored, colorwork patterns, and I'm pretty satisfied with it. Just the colorwork itself, because let me get you a closer look at this. Wow, I mean, look at that. Give you a total view. I'll show you the back. Is the exact same. The back's the exact same. Yeah, the little, yeah. So I'm super satisfied with it. I did modify the pattern a bit because in the like the photo, like the example photos for the pattern of the product, it looked like a little tiny, little bitty coin purse, and it looked like you could barely fit a tube of lip gloss in there. I mean, that's just me. I don't know. And I was looking at the pattern, and they had held it single with very thin yarn. So I was like, okay, well, if I hold it double, that will, you know, that'll give me some extra room. And then if I add a couple more flowers to the motif, like a couple more, if I lengthen it a little bit, that'll give me a little bit more length and blah, blah, blah. And it's huge. I mean, so big in comparison to my head. I mean, it's huge. So yeah, but you know what, it's fine. This one also rested whenever I this one also, excuse me, rested a little bit whenever I blocked it. And you can kind of see here a couple of the stains, which look kind of gross, but I don't know. I was like, you know what, whatever, I'm not even gonna worry about it. I was just upset that it stained, and I was kind of over it. But yeah, so that there's that. I have a lining in the bag. Here's the fabric. It was just some scrap fabric that I had. I thought it would work really well because these are pink tulips and these are pink tulips, and I thought it was just perfect. But it was giving me such a headache. So I sewed it, like I cut a big rectangle, sewed it into like a tube, and then was sewing it into, like, onto the top little hem, and then I was short. Like I didn't cut like a long enough rectangle of fabric. So then I had to fight to like cut it and then add more fabric to it and then keep on sewing it. And then it was just a nightmare. But I finally got it, obviously. And then I had to sew the bottom of it. And for whatever reason, that one gave me a headache too. And I'm holding like the bottom of the fabric right now. Well, maybe this is a better, okay. So my hand is here. Like I've got probably 2 inches. Ow, Sam, ow, buddy. That's my leg. That's my leg, bud. I've got about 1 inch, maybe 2 inches of extra space in the bottom of this bag. And maybe someday I'll go back and add more fabric to it, but it's just not today, not right now. Because it was giving me such a hard time. I had about 2 meltdowns, and it was not a good time, but lo and behold, I mean, it's done. It's not done, but I still need to add a zipper to the top because right now it's just open with no way of like sealing it. But number one, I don't have a zipper. And number two, I don't know how I'm even going to install it. And I could just tell that it was just gonna give me another headache. And I didn't want to, so I didn't. So yeah, this is my tulip bag. Okay, moving on to the next project that I finished is the Luna bralette. Wow. If you remember, I actually casted this on before my Hackett jacket, but I never gave you an update on it. This one actually took me about a week to finish because I started it on a road trip and I got like halfway done on it. Here it is, more close up. I'll let you look at the colorway. I've already worn it a couple different times, and I like it. I mean, it's a good pattern. I think I definitely will remake this in the past with another yarn. I made this, so the pattern is very size inclusive. So I'll put it on really quickly just to show you. So the pattern is very size inclusive. Let me get up. So literally all that you do for the pattern is you cast on as wide as you want the shoulder to be. You knit stockinette for a little bit, and then you gradually make increases for as long or wide as you want it. And you just stop increasing whenever you get like across the bust, and you do the exact same thing for the back. I probably could have stopped increasing like a round or two before. You can't really tell right now because I've got like a tank top on and I'm wearing a bra, you know, all that. But if I'm not like wearing anything with it, which I haven't, like whenever I wear it out, I normally don't. It's a lot looser. I thought it was gonna be more supportive for some reason. I don't know what made me think that. But it's cute. I mean, I like it. I did have a little bit of concerns with like this, because as you can see, this is very like, it fits really well. Like it's like pretty snug against my skin, and the edge is pretty, it's not very stretchy or loosey-goosey. This is. So like, as you can see, like it rolls a lot, and it's just very like, it sticks out and just, I don't know. I thought maybe it was like an error on my behalf, but I followed the pattern to a T. It's just so much more like stretchy and loose. I don't know. But yeah. I also probably could have knit the band a little longer for sure. But I was just so excited and anxious to get it done and over with that I kind of cut it short, which is what I do for a lot of my projects, unfortunately, is I crop them a little too early. But it's good. I like it a lot. Like I said, I've worn it a few times already this summer. It's just a very easy, cute, easy breezy top that I can wear. And like I said, I think next time I make this, I might make it in like a solid color and make it a little bit more, like I might modify the sizing a little bit more just so it has a better fit. But yeah. So 3 projects down. Those are my easy 3. I think I mostly finished those in May, which tells you how long it's been since my last video. But yeah, my next project is very, very near and dear to my heart. I've been looking forward to this pattern for a very long time, and I am proud to say I have my very own porcelain sweater. Okay, so yeah, my porcelain sweater. I mean, as you know, I've been dying to knit this for so many months. And I'm so happy with it. I don't know, I've just been on a roll with these sweaters this year. I've been making so many amazing sweaters and I'm just so satisfied. But yeah, here is the sweater. It is from Les Knit. I purchased the pattern on Ravelry. I mean, just look at it. It has been blocked. And you know what? I was really nervous about blocking it because I had 2 failed attempts at blocking with my pins staining the fabric. I don't have 1 stain on this white fabric. I was so worried that it would stain. I wanted to avoid knitting a white sweater for so long because I didn't want the color to like get dingy or like stain real easy or like I don't know, get discolored or anything like that. But I mean, I don't have 1 single stain on this from the pins, which I'm very surprised about. So let me give you a closer look at the color work bands and give you some details. So this one, so the pattern starts out with the back, as most patterns do. So you start out obviously knitting this, and then this band of color work is worked flat. Okay, anyway, this one is worked flat while you're creating the sleeve openings. I've never worked color work flat before. I've only ever done like in the round color work, so it was, I don't know, it wasn't really challenging, it was just different. But yeah, so here's this, lovely. And then you turn around and do the shoulders. They have in the pattern, they've got 2 different methods for the shoulders. You could either work the shoulders up with short rows, or you could knit them separately and then seam them together using match stitch. And that's what I chose to do. So I'll go ahead and show you the seam of where I stitched them together using mattress stitch. I don't often use this sleeve like construction method just because like I've never had the choice, but I kind of liked it. I think mattress stitch is just very satisfying whenever you stitch them all together and like pull it. I don't know. I like it. I liked using it. But then, so you do both the sleeves, you knit this flat again, and then by the time you get down here to this one, you start knitting in the round. So I'll show you this one. And it's very seamless across the pattern. I was expecting the pattern to like cut off at the sides and like restart, but it's just one continuous band of pattern. I don't know why I was thinking that, but you know. And then it goes down to this. This one actually gave me a lot of issues, honestly. Like the amount of times I had to frog like 2 to 3 rows at a time because like I accidentally skipped a row of color work. It was just awful. Oh, and then up here, you could see, you know how down here, it's kind of zigzaggy right here. It starts off as zigzaggy, right? Oh, and now it's straight. I messed up in the pattern. It's barely noticeable. I mean, it's noticeable to you because I just pointed it out. But by the time I noticed it, I was already like down here probably, and I was like, there's no way I'm going way back to the beginning. There's no way. So I didn't, and I'm just gonna deal with it. If that's the only mistake I made in this sweater, that's fine by me. So then, we pick up for the sleeves. I actually did this one first. As you can see, I mean, it's not the cleanest pickup I've ever done. I mean, you can clearly see where it like kind of, womp womp, wah. The back is fine. And then this one here is very clean, very straight, beautiful. I learned from my mistakes. But yeah, the bands for the sleeves are the exact same as the body. That way, whenever you wear it, it kind of lines up with itself a little bit. But yeah, I had a lot of fun knitting it. Like I said, as you can clearly see, I love it. I love it so, so much. Mwah. I knitted up with, gosh, what was it? I think it was the Drops Flora, because I had some scraps of the Off-White, which is what I used here, obviously. So I was thinking, oh, well, I can save some money and use that. My plan was to use the scrap Knitting for Olive Merino in the ice blue, but my boyfriend convinced me, he agreed with me. He said that the light of a blue as it is, it would have been a lot more unnoticeable than if I were to do this darker blue, which is the Drops Flora Denim. I think it's denim, and I paired it with a light denim mohair. And the white is both, I paired it both with the Drops Off-White. But yeah, I actually ended up only using one singular ball of both the Drops Flora and the Drops Kid Silk of the denim blue. And I ordered 2 of each. So I've got a whole ball of each of those left over. And then I've got a full ball both of the Off-White left over. So I've got 4 extra balls of yarn left over from this project, which is honestly pretty surprising. Like, I don't know, like I did my math correctly. I don't know if it's just like my gauge that gave me extra yarn or or what, I don't know, but yeah, I somehow had full extra balls of yarn after all this. So yeah, I'm just okay. So my plan is to use it in my next project, which I will tell you about right now. So my next project is, I've already started on it. I started on it probably a week and a half ago at this point. Is the Cloud Sweater by Petite Knit. It's been a while since I've made a project from Petite Knit, just because, like, I don't know, whenever I first started out knitting, I used a lot of Petite Knit patterns, and this year I just kind of wanted to branch out, try some new creator content and new patterns and such. But I came back to her, just because I thought this was really cute. Obviously, all of my sweaters that I've been making this year, I'm prepping for my fall vacation trip. So while I was looking for inspiration, I came across this picture on Pinterest, and I was like, oh my God, that's the Cloud Sweater. That's exactly the Cloud Sweater. And I was like, you know what? I've got a ton of the Knitting for Olive soft silk mohair in pea shoots from whenever I made my wave sweater for my partner earlier this year. So I was thinking that is just perfect. So I got the pattern for the Cloud Sweater. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is great, you know, blah, blah, blah. I ordered the yarn, great, blah, blah. And then I saw this picture on Pinterest like a week later. I'm like, oh my God, hold the phone. This is fantastic, because, I mean, that's perfect. It's so cute, so adorable. So then, this is a long drawn out story. So then, after I saw this picture, I was like, okay, how easy would it be on Pinterest to find like the grid work for a flower, and I could use that as like a makeshift color work chart thing. And so I ended up coming across this picture right here. And I just think it's very, very pretty. And so my plan is to make this sweater and like knit or embroider the sweater with this pattern, and kind of make it myself. So that's what I'm doing. I saw a lot of really, really good colorwork charts on Pinterest for so many different things. I've got a whole board, a Pinterest board saved of like color charts. I think they're mostly used for like cross stitch or embroidery or something like that. So I mean, you could find literally anything and like pixelate it and use it as a knitting pattern. I mean, it's so easy to just convert. And I chose these Morning Glories. One, because I love the flower. Two, because it reminds me a lot of my mom, and I love my mom very much. And I just thought it was just, it just made it a little bit special for me. I don't know if that makes sense. I hope it does. But I thought it would be cute because I saw a flower chart that's very similar to the photo that I saw on Pinterest. But I was like, you know what? I could do literally anything. Let me look for some more. Then I saw this and it was just perfect and I had to have it. So, luckily, I've got I've got plenty of yarn to make with it. So I got the yarn for the sweater itself, for the base. I've got the Knitting for Olive. I'm using the heavy merino, which I've never used before. I've always ever only used the basic merino, and of course the soft silk mohair. But this is Pea Shoots. You can see in this light, it's awful. So here it is, very cute. But yeah, so I'm using that. And then I figured for the flowers, I got the idea, because I had so much yarn left over from my porcelain sweater, I feel like I could very easily use that. So what I've got is, so I've got the Drops Flora. This is the denim blue that I used for my porcelain sweater, and as you can see, I have so much of it left over. And then I have the, this is the Knitting for Olive Merino Ice Blue, and I have a full ball of this with the label still on it, like besides this one, so I'm definitely gonna have more of it left over. Originally I was using it for like a tank top or something, but I feel like this is just perfect for this project. So I've got these two, and I've got this this ball of yarn here. This is actually also Drops Flora. I think the colorway is, I want to say it's pistachio. That sounds right. It's either like pistachio or just light green or something, but I'm fairly certain it's the pistachio colorway. So I've got these three colors here. And then I'm thinking I've got some Knitting for Olive merino. It's a very light lavender purple. I want to say it's Dusty Artichoke, because I used it for my late summer wrap by Knitting for Olive. I've got some of that left over, so I might use the purple and kind of like sprinkle that in there for like dimension and some cuteness, a little extra. And then I've got some Drops Flora Off-White, just to like kind of break up the blue, add some like highlights, I don't know, whatever. So I figured this would be a very good stash buster. So yeah, I'm thinking, I don't think I'm going to show you more than that, because I'm probably going to do an entire big separate video on my process of making the picture in front. But I will show you what I have so far for my sweater, at least lengthwise. So this is what I have so far. It's the back, obviously. This is the back of it. I am almost done with the body. I think I've got about probably a couple more inches. I think it's about like 10 more rows that I have to do, and then I could do the bottom ribbing and then cast off. So yeah, I'm really excited. My trip that I'm leaving for this week, we're driving. It's about a 15-hour drive to Florida. So I'm super excited for that. I'm so excited. So I'm probably planning on doing all of the color work on my way there. And we'll see how that goes. I'll probably update you guys whenever I come back. And hopefully I will be mostly, if not completely, done with the color work and or the sweater. So very exciting times ahead. But yeah, So that's just what I've been doing. That's why I haven't been filming a lot. It's just because I can't stop working. I can't stop knitting. So yeah, it's fun. It's a fun time. But yeah, I'm very proud of myself for the work that I've been doing this year with my knitting, the projects, the quality of the projects. I'm just really happy with how they've been turning out. I'm very satisfied with what I've been doing, and I'm super excited for what's to come. Yeah. Speaking of future projects, I've got a few in mind, because I was thinking while I was knitting on my cloud sweater, in the planning that I have for my fall vacation sweaters, I'm pretty much done. If I include my yellow Hackett jacket, which, let's be honest, I'm not gonna do. So, I was thinking, I've got, so today is July 2nd, and we don't leave until the end of September. So I've got about three months of knitting that I've got plenty of time on, because I'm about halfway done with my cloud sweater, which will probably take me another week to 2 weeks at most, I think. So I've got plenty of time to make another project if I so wish. And I do so wish. So my thinking was, and I was talking to my boyfriend about it, and he agrees with me, that I should replace the Hackett jacket with another cardigan. So I was looking on Instagram again, and of all of the cardigan patterns that I was looking at and that I was showing you guys in my last video, I did not choose any of those. So I ended up going with the Montrose cardigan right here. I know. I saw these two pictures on Instagram, and I don't know, I just really like them. And I just think they're very like simple and kind of edgy and modern, but still kind of soft and chic. I really like them a lot. I know it's so versatile, and you could do so much with like the colorways and the buttons, and I think that's what I like about cardigans, is that you could really mix it up with the buttons and the colors and all that. And there's so many different patterns that you can mix and match. But I think what I'll do, I know a couple creators that I saw and liked made theirs in a white, and I think the porcelain sweater really kind of what's the word, kind of made me not so afraid of white sweaters and white like articles of clothing, because I am clumsy and I'm messy sometimes, and I don't want to stain a nice white knit project. But I don't know, something about the porcelain sweater really kind of turned me away from like being so scared of it. So I'm thinking about doing I'll probably end up doing the off-white and use the last of my drops Flora in the off-white. Obviously I'll need to get more of it because this is all I have left. But if I can get these two out of my stash while buying less yarn, because I already have some, I mean, that'll be great. If I can save money and make some room in my stash baskets, that'll be really good, really good. So yeah. And then I know, I mean, I saw so many different like really good colors that other creators used. I know I saw one person make the sweater in just a soft light, like pinkish peachy, like it reminded me a lot of the Knitting for Olive ballerina colorway, which I thought it was so cute. And they used like a really shiny like iridescent button, and I just thought it was so cute and I really liked it. But I think I'll do the white and save some room in my stash, because if I can save money on yarn, I will. So yeah, I think I'll do that. And then I also, around the same time, I saw the Chantal cardigan, and let me tell you, it was a really tough decision not to make this one, because look at it. I need it. I need it so bad. I think it's beautiful. I think it's very soft, very elegant, very feminine. I love it so much. I love it. I think what really sold me on it was the tie detail that you make with it. I don't know if it's actually attached. It might just be like a separate I-cord that you just tie around your waist to close it. I just think that's really beautiful and amazing. And I also really like the stitches, like the stitch that it uses. I don't know what exactly it is, but if you go to the website, the designer's website, they also have a Chantal sweater, which is something that I was looking at whenever I was trying to decide what sweaters to make for the trip. And obviously, ultimately, I did not choose the Chantal sweater, but the Chantal cardigan, I'm just saying, I don't know. I think it's really cute and I like it a lot. And I was thinking, I was kind of playing with the idea of like making the Chantal cardigan extra long, and it'd be like a hand knit cozy bathrobe. I don't know if that idea is like weird or crazy, or like I shouldn't do it, I should do it. I don't know. But I just really enjoy the pattern and the stitching and the details. And I just think they're so pretty. So I think that's what I'll probably do at some point. I think I'll do it this winter, probably in like December or January. It feels like a dead of winter project. So I think I'll save that for after my trip. Because I have a coworker who is wanting to commission me to make a sweater for him and his wife. And I'm pretty excited because I've never like been paid to make somebody something. Like I've given people like handmade projects as gifts for the holidays, but I've never had somebody like ask like, hey, can you make this for me and like pay me? I don't know. It's kind of nice. A lot of times people are like, oh wow, you craft, you should sell it. And I say, no, I would rather not. But here I am saying, yeah, I'll do this for you. But yeah, so I've got 2 projects lined up that I have to get done before the holidays. I think one of them I'll probably start after my Montrose cardigan, and then the other one, depending on whether or not I finish that one before my trip, the other one I'll take to my trip with me, because I've got a couple really long plane rides, and I'll have a lot of time on my hands, literally. So that's my plans for the next 3 months. So you know me, I like to plan ahead. But yeah, that pretty much sums it up. I've been busy with a lot A lot of projects, a lot of work around here, a lot of planning, a lot of packing. So yeah, a lot's going on. But hopefully my next video will be up here in the next couple weeks or so, whenever I finish my cloud sweater, and I'll share everything that I've done for that, my progress, my process. And yeah, so I'm excited to see you guys again and share my recent progress updates. And thanks for joining me for this long-winded video. I appreciate it, guys, as always. Stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy, and happy knitting. Bye.